Hi, my name is Dillard, and I currently serve as the Programs Director for the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation here in Atlanta, Georgia. We are a statewide organization partnering with the fire service as well as the burn hospitals. We provide prevention and education services along with support and recovery programs for those individuals impacted by a fire or burn-related injury. I am actually new to the Programs Director position within the last year or so. However, I'm not new to the organization. Back in 2000, I was given the opportunity through my master's program at the University of Georgia to attend a service learning class. And the instructor set up an opportunity for social work students to attend the week-long burn camp that we host called Camp Ulula. And at the time, I had no idea what the Burn Foundation was, no idea what camp was, but was trying to figure out in my career what direction I was going to go, and saw it as a good opportunity to just be exposed to another population and have fun while learning and great. So I signed up for the Maymester class, had some assignments beforehand related to reading about burn injuries and treatment and the fire service and that sort of thing. Came to camp for the week, fell in love with camp, fell in love with the burn community, just the family environment of camp, and finished up the class that year, finished up the program the following year, and graduated. New camp was rolling back around in 2001, and that I wanted to go back, but I had no idea if I was going to know anyone, if the same people went from year to year, if they were going to remember who I was, if I was going to feel stupid for going. Went. Everyone remembered me. The same people were there. We've got volunteers that have been participating forever, and just sealed the deal. I became part of the family and continued to come back every year to serve as a volunteer at camp. And then over the course of the years, just became more and more involved with the organization, getting involved in other projects and volunteer opportunities. And over that time, I was working professionally as a medical social worker for 5 years, and also as a school social worker for 4 or 5 years. And when the former programs director resigned from her position, Dennis Garden was the executive director. I had known him for several years through camp, as well as just having a personal relationship with him when he was volunteering in camp. And he and I began discussing me coming on as programs director, and it seemed like a natural fit based on my love for the organization and the burn community as a whole. So I now get to say that I have my dream job. I get to work in the community that I feel very passionate about, and do work that I feel like is important but also fulfilling for me. So that is my story and how I landed here.
Great. Is there one or two things that people may be surprised about the camp that may not be aware of that you'd like to share?
With regards to camp, I get a lot of people who, when I mention to them that I go to camp and what I do, a lot of people say, oh gosh, that's so sad, I could never do that, and it would be too hard for me. I don't see it as that at all. They're kids. They're nothing more than kids who unfortunately have been through a trauma that none of us may have experienced, but at the end of the day, they're still kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when I signed up to take the class, I did have some anxiety, knowing that there would be some scarring and disfigurement, but the minute that those kids started loading off the bus, I realized they were just kids. They drive you crazy, they wear you out, they make you laugh. So I think some people are a little bit disillusioned into, like, it's this really sad, pathetic population that are over here having camp for a week, but it's not, and they're kids, and they live every day, and they cope with what they've got, and we give them a chance to come together and really have an opportunity that's unique for them to engage in peer support, where they're able to exchange a story with another child who's had a similar experience than them, that maybe they can't share with their, their schoolmate or whatever. So I don't see it as anything sad or depressing. If anything, it rejuices me for the year and recharges my batteries. So I think it's unfortunate that some people think that way, but I can understand why, since they haven't had the opportunity to be exposed to it, like I have. But it's a constant education on my part to say, no, it's great, it's fun, they have a good time. Yeah, they have some challenges, but they teach me lessons, and I walk away with as much, if not more, at the end of the week than I think they do sometimes.
Right. Typically, what are the age ranges?
Our campers are the ages of 7 to 17.
Okay.
So any child who is a resident of Georgia between the ages of 7 to 17 is able to attend the camp for free. We don't charge anything. If a child was treated in one of the Georgia burn centers, which we have a burn center at Grady Hospital in Metro Atlanta, and we also have a burn unit at Doctors Hospital at the Stills Burn Center in Augusta. So if a child was treated in one of those hospitals but does not live in Georgia, they're still eligible to attend. So we do have some campers coming from Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, just because they may not have burn hospitals in their state and we're the closest treatment area. In addition, if a child has maybe moved to Georgia but was treated in California or North Carolina but is now a resident of Georgia, then they're still eligible to attend our burn camp as well. So 7 to 17, and we have started a program called the LIT program, which stands for Leaders in Training. And that piece is eligible for volunteers between the ages of 18 to 21. Full-time volunteers or staff, if you will, have to be 21, but we had so many campers that were wanting to return after their 17th birthday and didn't have to wait until they were 21, that we developed a leadership and training program so that they're there as staff, but they're also learning leadership type skills, not just to be volunteers at camp, but to become leaders and adults in their own community. So they come and participate throughout the week. They have a different program than the rest of us are doing, if you will. It's specific to them. They're engaged in what we're doing, but then they also may run some of the activities, giving them a chance to organize and plan it, or step in and work in a cabin to begin to learn what it's like to be a counselor and some of the challenges that you have in working with kids. So, so 7 to 17 for campers, then we have 18 to 21 for the Leaders in Training program, and then anyone 21 and older is eligible to be staff after they've completed the application process.
Great. And Dana, where can they find more information on this website-wise?
We have a website, www.gfbf.org. Stands for Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation. They can also contact the office at 404-320-6223. And I'm at extension 102, and I serve as the programs director. So any of the programs and services that we have, I would be more than happy to answer any questions about.
Great. Well, thanks for your time today and all the good work that you do.
Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate it.